So hello guys, so this is my first tutorial about C# Windows Form. So in this video, I will teach you the basics regarding tools and basic components. So in this tutorial, we'll focus on how we can create Windows-based applications. We will also learn some basics on how to work with the various elements of Windows application. So this is an example of a simple Windows Form application. So it shows a simple login screen which is accessible by the user. So the user will enter the required credentials and then will click this login button to proceed. So basically this is a collection of label controls which are normally used to describe adjacent controls. So in our case, we have these two text box controls and we have these two label controls. So these label controls will tell the user that this text box is for entering the username and this second text box is for entering the password. So finally, we have this login button. So this button control will normally have some code attached to perform a set of actions. So we could have the button perform an action of validating the username and password that is entered by the user. So now let's look at an example on how we can implement a simple Hello World application in Visual Studio. For this, we would need to implement these mentioned steps. So the first step involves the creation of a new project in Visual Studio. After launching Visual Studio, you need to choose the menu option. So click File, then choose New, then click Project. So in the project dialog box, we can see various options for creating different types of projects in Visual Studio. Click the Windows option on the left hand side. So this is the Windows option. So when we click the Windows options in the previous steps, we will able to see an option for Windows Forms. So we will see this Windows Form application. So and then we give a name for the application, which is our case. We will name it demo, or we will name it project 1. And we also need to provide a location to store our application. So finally, we click the OK button to let Visual Studio create our project. So click this OK. So it tells the project can't be created because another project already exists. So we will name it demo application. Okay, press OK. And then you will see a form design and then you will see a form designer displayed in Visual Studio. It is so in this form designer that you will start building your Windows Form application. So you will also be able to see the demo application solution. So let's click this view, then click this solution explorer. So what we've seen here is a form application called form1.cs. So this file will contain all of the code for a Windows Form application. So this is the main program called program.cs. So its default code file, which is created with a new application, is created in Visual Studio. This code will contain the startup code for the application as a whole. And next, I will show you the toolbox. General toolbox. So in this step, we'll now So we will now see the toolbox. So click view button, then click toolbox. So this is toolbox look-alike. So in this step, we will now add a label to the form, which is really. So in this step, we will now add a label to the form, which will display hello world. So label. So just simply drag it on the form, and this is the label. So we can change the font. Oh, by the way, click the label, then right click, then go to properties, then change the text to hello world. Then change the font size by 14 and change the font style to Segway UI. Click OK. So now we can see hello world. Now we see the simple um, level control, which is named as level 1, transformed to hello world. So let's run the program. So click this um, green triangle button, or we have a um, shortcuts F5. Click. So here it is, and hello world. Thanks for watching.